What up, riders, 667ers, just randos tuning in.
Baguettes, if you will.
Okay.
Hey, that's what we're going with?
Yeah, I think
That's the first time?
What up, baguettes?
We're just trying it on for size.
That's fire. Getting to the bag and the bread simultaneously.
Come
Get
on,
it?
fam.
Entendres just all day.
Entendre.
That's
Entendre.
fire.
We like a good entendre.
A decent entendre. I always say, watch a battle rap, I'd be like, that was a double entendre. I think I was like 3 tendres or something. I don't know.
You missed one in there.
Special episode with Blimes and Gab, a.k.a. B.A.G.
Hold on. I have to correct you.
It's an acronym.
I love you. You're my brother. You always gonna be my brother. Unless you call us BAG again. We are B.
A.G.
You see them dots on me?
Okay. Well, see, I thought it was one of those things like NASA. You feel me? Not like the
NASA ain't got no dots. It's all in the dots.
That's true. It is just capital, right? Okay. That's my apologies.
It's all good.
We good.
It's all good.
B.A.G.
You wanna
do
jump
after.
him
Show them how to
We'll let-
Exactly.
B.A.G.
Exactly. There's entendres. Like, we're trying to tell you.
Tandric.
Super
Isn't that the
tandric.
choreographer from RuPaul's Drag Race?
Tandric.
Could be. I don't know. Sounds about right.
Tandric.
One of them.
Or is it Roderick?
Logic.
Factoid of the day. How you guys been? You've been killing it lately.
Thank you.
I've seen. Can't help but notice.
Things have been good.
Yeah.
Things have been good. Thanks to the folks on the interwebs that literally made B.A.G. a name with Come Correct. They made that shit pop off in the first 48 hours after we dropped it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
thank you
That
guys.
song
For real.
started
It
off.
was y'all.
Yeah,
y'all
it started
did
off
this.
as just a joint, right? And then
Yeah. It started off with literally, it was, from my understanding, I thought it was just going to be a song that Blimes was having in her documentary. So she was out in Seattle shooting some stuff. She told me to come to the studio, so I brought some beats. The beat is by my homeboy Mike Mo Beats from Portland. We ended up doing that one.
Let's go.
Like, you feel me? Literally like freestyled the shit, and I'm thinking like, oh, okay, that would be a good little scene for the documentary. But then it just turned out like, this shit is filthy. We
It's
should
kinda
get this
fire.
mixed and mastered and put
Yeah.
this shit out. So we
Yeah.
did. And
We
then,
slept on it for a little bit. We were
Yeah.
like, we'll use it for something down the line, whatever. If we need something, we'll put it out one day. We both were bumping it for a minute. We're like, this is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Maybe we should drop it.
Yeah.
Come Correct.
Dropped it.
on the internets.
On the
The video's
interwebs.
fire.
We committed marketing suicide. We dropped it at 8 p.m. on a Friday night. And by Sunday, it had 3 million views on Facebook.
Let's
so
go.
It went insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, so again, this was y'all. Y'all did this. We were living our individual lives. She was
Right.
Blimes Brixton. I was Gifted Gab. We was doing our own thing. And then when Come Correct came, it was so much people that were just like, so are y'all a duo? If you're not, you should be a duo. Like, is there an album? So, like, we would be stupid not to, like, jump on
Right.
that wave and do that. So we became a duo because of that song.
B.A.G.
That's really tight. As organic as it gets. Like,
It's so fucking organic.
Yeah.
Down to the video.
I'm about to say, everything we've done this far, from how we met to, like, our process, like, literally everything, we don't force shit, like, yeah, it just...
We're in the studio and shit isn't right. We're like, let's go.
Yeah.
We'll get back in. We'll get
Exactly.
back in. Whatever. Anything. But it's rare that happens. It's
Yeah.
really rare for us. Usually we could, if we're in the studio for a 12-hour session, we could knock out 2 or 3 or...
yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. The art of
You're in
collaboration.
that 667 life. I've seen how you boys work.
Yeah, just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
For sure. But that's a good chemistry.
Not sure if
brings,
it's
I feel
egos or...
That actually does. I want to ask you guys
Competition.
about that. Like, because, I feel like it varies, but even, like, me and Only One doing music, it's very organic, and I feel like there's a lot of chemistry there because we vibe off each other as people. But, like, also there's the competitive element of, like, okay, all right, like, just starting a verse, hearing, like, his first date, I'm like, okay, back to the drawing board.
For
all
sure.
right.
Right.
You know,
Yesterday, for instance, like, I wrote some shit. I was getting kind of emotional with my verse. I heard Gab spit her shit, and I was like, oh, she flexing on this shit.
right.
Polar
just-
opposite.
Yeah.
Let me go right back to the drawing board. And although I'm still going to do me, I still will,
Yeah.
go from my emo fucking point
That's
of
your
view,
style,
which
bro.
I always go to, I was still like, let me hold up. Let me get my flex bag a little bit more so we can match each other's energy on this joint. You know what I mean? And I think that's what people like when they saw us, is that we matched each other's energy. I think we stood for something that you don't see in hip hop right now. You don't see two girls on a record just matching the vibe. Like there's hella like sneak disses, or there's hella just hella sexuality being thrown all around, and we didn't talk about none of that on Come Correct. Not to say we won't on the album. We some grown ass women, y'all.
I'm gonna say we are humans.
We some grown ass women, y'all. But on Come Correct, we just wanted to bar out, and people were like, "Oh shit!" It was such a relief to me, man. I was like, "Thank God, people still enjoy bars, because I'd be out of a job if not, and a lot of folks are." So if you can reach the people, if you can reach the people the way that y'all made this video, reach the people, there are people still out there that love bars. So keep spitting them, keep spitting them.
Definitely
bars, and I feel like just with like who we are and like how we look and like how like not things that we would ever plan. It's just like she's white, I'm black, what I'm saying? We're full-figured women. We spit, like, it's just shit that hasn't really been seen before, nor has it really been embraced. And we're just, what I'm saying?
Which is
like,
something neither of us ever gave thought to.
Yeah, not a single thought. But, like, you get people that'll hit us up all the time, like, man, you, like, like, you really make me feel good about myself. Or, like, what I'm saying? I'm also a full-figured woman. I feel like, I don't need to change who I am. Stuff like that. Like, not anything that like ever came to our mind. Like, I'm not thinking about shit like that when I'm rapping. I'm just rapping. But like to know that people see us and like they see themselves in us, as opposed to the manufactured rappers where you have to be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? That's like almost impossible to be. You know what I'm saying? And we're just ourselves, and again without zero thought. And then people like really like that. Like y'all are just y'all. It's like,
you can feel when someone like when someone's trying to sell you on something, even if it's like on a super subliminal level. Like you might not be aware why you don't like something or someone, but we're processing information on so many more levels than we're like consciously aware of.
Exactly.
Like, we might have aversions to certain things for reasons we can't quite communicate, or certain artists that we're like, yo, like it just feels real. We have these limited words to represent it.
You can sense when the shit's contrived.
Yeah,
you can sense it, and sometimes we do like some unauthentic shit,
right? And
we can and sometimes you can get behind that.
You can appreciate factors or certain things.
Right, but when something's authentic, it's hard to deny. So you can see something unauthentic. Half the people can deny it, half the people can be into it, and you could take that risk on something inauthentic. But I think when something is authentic, it's really hard to not like it. And so that's what we got really lucky with.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, even from the first, like, Come Correct, it doesn't sound like you had this plan, right? And so isn't that funny how the most...
Thanks.
How the most...
Because we did it.
We had this grandmaster plan. It wasn't...
You guys had no planning. It was obvious.
We could all see that you had no...
winging it pretty hard.
No, but it's just interesting to see that.
Strike two.
So this was an accident, but...
You're going for the gut?
Right under the table.
No, but I think what it speaks volumes to what we're saying about the organic nature and when something's real, because it wasn't this drawn out plan. It was something you guys did, a song that happened naturally, I'm sure, and then put it out with probably not the biggest expectation, more so than any other song. Yeah. And I'm sure you didn't expect what happened. So to see, when something kind of catches that you weren't expecting, I'm sure it's a crazy feeling, right? Like,
super unpredictable.
Unpredictable, and no one like plans to go viral. You know what I'm saying? That's just something that happens, and then it's like speaks to.
Well, unless you're putting down hella racks on it.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's not real viralness.
Breed,
you know what I'm saying? I mean it is, but it's not. It's like yeah. But like we didn't plan like. I didn't imagine for any of this shit to happen. I figured we put it out and, our homies and our fans would like it like they do everything else. Not that, we'd wake up and literally I have to delete Twitter off my phone and reinstall it because my shit was like shut the fuck down. Like it was ridiculous. But like I was saying, like because it was so organic and we didn't plan for that, like it really speaks to like your artistry and like who you are as a person, your intentions when what you do in that amount of time. Because I think people don't realize that moment of viralness, like that moment in general is like very short amount of time. Like it's literally you snap and it's over and then you back to being the regular nigga you were before.
Right.
You know, so like you really have to strike while the iron is hot and like really, you know, put your money where your mouth is and like you utilize your content, all the shit, like literally just utilize that moment. And I think we really, really did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, how long
I mean, we threw Gab in the U-Haul and fucking brought her ass down.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Like months later after
in the back of the U-Haul. Gabby!
Let's go.
Twisted my ankle, still moved. Like it was wild.
How long after?
You know where she's from, right?
Yeah, Northwest.
You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
I want to talk about that.
Seattle, baby.
But how long after Come Correct did you guys like? Was it like the next day or as soon as it hit? Like when you're like, we should do this.
They need
some
context.
Some context.
We dropped it in October on DSPs. We dropped it in October on DSPs.
What? You said it like it was DTF.
That was me imagining Joe Budden watching this and me having a conversation with Joe Budden in my head about the term DSPs.
This ain't going to lead you to Joe Budden's podcast.
He loves the term DSPs.
Oh, okay.
He throws it around nonstop.
Got you.
That was what was happening there, y'all. So we dropped it on digital outlets in October, just the song. Put a little video together, dropped the video in January, and then that's when it took off. People liked it online. We were getting really positive input, like just like motherfuckers were like this.
But like
bangs.
Nowhere near the reception we got from
doing the video.
Yeah.
Which shows that if you are questioning whether you should do a video for one of your songs or not, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And also I think there was nuances in it that I knew needed to be added but didn't realize the impact. So like specifically us shooting that video in front of the Red Apple, like in Seattle, I knew we had to shoot it there just because I knew it was going to be shut down. So I was like, damn, it would be tight to...
For the folks that don't know about the Red Apple at home, just give them a little bit of history on that.
You're right.
Talk to them.
Yeah. So Red Apple in the Central District. So literally the whole area is called the Promenade. Like one of those is, you know, the Red Apple, the grocery store. Then you got like the hair supply store, like restaurant, you know what I'm saying, like a little strip mall type thing. Anyway, that was like a staple in the Central District, which is the area where I'm from, which has been heavily gentrified. So just like everything, you know, everything I grew up going to or knowing is now completely wiped out and replaced by other bullshit. And like Red Apple was kind of one of those last few things that was still like holding the Central District together, of what people will remember from then. And so when we shot the video, like I said, I was like, yeah, we have to shoot in front of the Red Apple because it's not going to be there anymore.
It's like a time capsule.
Exactly. Yeah. So after we shot it, like literally, I want to say maybe like like maybe like 2-3 months later, it's demolished now. Like it's almost halfway built up to some
condos.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you already know what it is. So like when that dropped, like that was one thing that was like really, really pointed out was people were like, well, one, it was crazy that people that either weren't from Seattle, either like knew someone from Seattle or spent some time in Seattle were like, yo, the Red Apple. Like, I didn't realize how like impactful it was. And then being like that, our video was like the last video documentation of, you know, Red Apple was like really big. So
that's fire,
yeah. Yeah, it meant a lot to the Central District. You know, specifically in Seattle and just, you know, all over. Like I said, people that just knew Red Apple just from, you know, being in the city and stuff like that. Like, I remember that.
City. This is Gab's I put on for the city moment.
Hey, look,
for my motherfucking hood.
I don't have to say it. Ruins, no. You don't have to sit here and say.
The whole string
you don't have to say you put on for the city. If you put on for the city knows. So I don't really have to speak for it.
That's a bar.
My favorite is when people are like, I put on for the city, new tour announcement. I'm like, all those dates are in the city. Like, you're putting on for the city, for the city.
We know about you, fam. You gotta branch out. Yeah. Tell others about us.
Oh, it was I put on, comma, for the city.
Right. like put on for the city, in the city.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere, y'all.
You gotta plant the flag.
Catch me every Monday night.
Right here. I've got a residency here at home.
Yeah, exactly. Touring open mics
in the vicinity.
It's love though, but you gotta expand. You gotta expand those horizons.
Yeah.
If you don't follow Gifted Gab on Twitter, you're missing out on some hilarity. A tweet that she tweeted the other day was have the confidence of somebody who says I put on for my city with a SoundCloud link uploaded from their room and a
unmastered song.
Unmastered SoundCloud.
And an Android selfie.
We're ruining it. But Twitter.com/gifted_gab, where you could also find me, Blimes Brixton.
Yes. We don't just tweet hilariously ridiculous shit. We're also very insightful. You know what I'm saying? We post tips, all that. But mostly it's pretty hilarious and ridiculous. And I retweet anything anyone says about me. So
we have fun.
So the visual element even of the video, you think that added a whole different dimension to how fans kind of, like recognize, it's like putting a face to the name almost, but also the sound and the impact. You said it like spread like wildfire at that point.
I think the folks that had heard this song didn't realize it was two rappers, or B, didn't know who was who.
Right.
We got a lot of, but is the white girl saying the N-word?
Which makes no sense to me because that should let you know who the black one is. Like, I don't get the one who says the N-word is probably the black one in the group.
No, she refuses, so I make up for it. Like, come on, fam.
Right?
Like, that's
we
dumb.
do cutaways.
You got to do process of elimination.
Oh,
people just want to be mad for nothing nowadays.
Yeah, so sure. And I think for them to see who we are, I think it really took the video to a new place. I think people needed to see girls.
They had to see
girls like us,
Plus, we on our own. Like I said before, all this happened. We had our own thriving independent careers. Right. So the mesh between my fans and her fans and my fans that never heard of her and vice versa, they're like...
I mean, for instance, I had, hella followers and then Gab was...
I was all right.
No, I'm just playing.
I was doing okay for myself.
I'm just playing. Nah.
Call shade.
Nah, come correct really.
It's all right.
Really shot us both up.
Yeah.
Now we're like...
Yeah. It's like the perfect marriage.
Pretty much.
Momentum.
Pretty much. But yeah, no, it just really was a perfect cross in being females that are really lyrical, a lot of my people were even on some real shit. I never heard anybody else, male or female, that could match you on a track like that. That you don't straight murder, because as a lyrical rapper, that's what you want to do on every track, whether it's your friend or not. I want to kill you on this track. It's love, but
I'm gonna kill you with love.
I'm about to bar you the fuck to death. You feel me? So it was dope to hear from my people to be you might have met your match, someone that just it's a dope song. You feel me? You're not just completely kill. My bad, fuck that up. You're not completely killing her on the track and shit. Whatever, I'm high, I'm talking.
She doesn't
try it again.
She doesn't care about the group. She doesn't. She doesn't care. It's moments like this.
Disrespect has no end.
It's moments like this that I know how much energy she's really willing to put
whatever.
into this.
But we're still competitive as fuck. That mindset never changes. I still want to eat you alive, anybody on the track. But she has the same mentality, and I like that. It's not often you find someone that's like that, and then it's friendly competition, and then you have most of the time, if I'm doing that, it's with a guy, and then you have that added male ego. That I barred you to death, and now his homies is yo, she ate you, and now he want to fight me. It's never been like that.
Or just never speak to you or look at you in the eye.
You feel me? We can literally be silently competing, trying to eat each other live in the studio, and then we go
tracks together where he couldn't look me in the eye afterwards.
No, see, we can do that though, and then go out to eat afterwards. Ain't nobody tripping. It's not like that, and I'm a very competitive person, so that's really a testament to how well that we mesh.
I think too the some of the chemistry I noticed, so I've for instance done songs with people who I'm I could feel the competition and it's dope, and both are it's good for a song or something where we're both kind of competing and both the verses are fire. But there's also a certain kind of that sort of just chemistry that goes beyond that you guys have as well. You know what I mean?
I think it works.
The way your voices mesh, the way you play off each other, and like there's a lot of things that can't be.
Well, tell him we gotta tell him how we met now.
Well,
to bring it all together.
I was just gonna add to the fact that while we're here in the studio working on an album we have been the last 6 months, that competition makes for great songwriting.
Yeah.
Because if she's trying to do her best to outdo me and I'm trying to do my best to outdo her, we are only going to get better and better products every fucking time. And you can't be mad at that,
no,
you know,
definitely.
ever. You know, sometimes we might be like, all right. When we get a note, all right. But we hop in the booth and do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you notice that you write songs faster sometimes, or a verse faster when you're working with someone at all? Like
I think
that
we
happens
check in
to
on
me.
each other a lot.
Like if I work on my solo shit, it's like I can just sit there forever questioning every bar. But if I'm collabing with someone, it's like something about the energy where it just comes a lot more naturally for me.
Definitely having someone else, you know, definitely helps. However, like, I don't know, the process of writing in the studio is like kind of a new thing for me because, like I said, going back to us being individual artists, I'm always so used to doing my shit by myself. Like, I'm that person that'll write at home, you know what I'm saying, and play the beat over and over again and write it like that. Exactly. And she's the opposite. So, like, writing in the studio has, like, you know, gotten me hella sharper and hella quicker to actually do that. Because before, like, my mindset was like, I'm paying for the studio time. I'm not finna sit in the studio session and write. It could take me an hour. It could take me the whole time. I'm not I'm not in the business of wasting money like that. So if I go to the studio, my shit's already prepared.
$140 verse.
You feel me? Like, I'm like one take Jake, two take Timmy. Like, I'm not wasting no fucking time. So, like, being able to sit in the studio and not that I'm like having to rush, but being mindful that we have this time, we got to record something before we go. Like, her verse might already be done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely makes you a lot more sharper. So it's dope to be able to, like, you know, also learn that skill of doing that and not just being like, I'll just take the song home and write it how I'm more accustomed to, you know?
Right, yeah. I noticed with my, like, songwriting, like, I used to write at home, and then once I was like, I got spoiled with Chase and always being at the studio and just kind of having an open-ended session to where now it's like it's hard for me to go home.
We're on our way there.
We're literally going
after
to
this.
I live next door. I literally live next door.
You need a ride home?
No, I drove. But that's to say it's hard for me to write at home now. Like, it's almost uninspiring. It's like, oh, it's the space that I'm in all day. And it's like the studio kind of brings the creativity out.
I have super bad ADD, and I have a gang of outside dilemmas, distractions.
For sure.
People, you know, affairs hitting me up at all times, all hours of the day. I just don't feel unless I'm in the studio I can really focus.
Just having hella affairs, like I can't keep up with these bitches.
Hey, baby, I'm not.
I know, that was a joke.
Baby, I'm not. I'm not.
I thought you were talking about like a undergroundhiphop.com festival. You know, like an affair.
Affair, got you.
No, I was thinking of affairs.
So
let's get our affairs in order here, gentlemen.
Right? How did you guys meet? What is that story?
This is a good story.
Yeah, you brought it up kind of cryptically.
I feel like we get the opportunity to like kind of go in depth with it here at this table. So I'm gonna take the time.
Because he's also catching the contact, so you know the truth serum. That's the truth serum. The truth serum
is afloat. Gab and I were just friends on the internet. Neither of us are in the business of adding randoms on Facebook, so neither of us can figure out who added who.
Right.
We're like, nah, you must have added me. Nah, you must have added me.
It was the algorithm. It was AI.
It was the algorithm.
AI. Linked us up. Holy shit. Damn, AI
I like that excuse.
had a plan.
Yeah.
So we were friends on Facebook. She had done a song with Gavlin. I was working so heavily with Gavlin at the time. Damn. We were touring a lot, did a project together. Still love Gavlin, still work together, you know.
Yeah,
and,
shouts out to Gav.
You know, this whole thing just really took off. But yeah, so she had a song with Gav. We became friends on the internet. I was going out to Seattle. I was working on a documentary. I was going to be there for one day. And was like, I don't know anybody really in Seattle except Gab, and we're just friends on Facebook. But let me see what she's up to. Like, hit her up. She took me all around Capitol Hill and Central District, and we kicked it all day in Seattle. And she was like, Mayor Gabby. Everybody in Seattle knew who she was. Literally, everybody was like, Gabby, Gab,
Right,
gifted. Like, down every block. They were like, you want coffee? Cupcake? Fucking, come get a jersey. Like, anything you want. I was like, damn, I need to hang out with this chick all the time. We ended up at
Hella free stuff.
Hella free shit. Hella free
fire.
shit. Thank you to all those
Slit,
folks.
man.
We ended up at a party, which is, from what I understand, is like another old Seattle spot that is no longer existing
95
anymore.
Slide.
95
used to be
Slide.
the little spot.
We ended up at a big ass 40-ounce bounce jump off, and it was, you know, massive party.
Yeah.
Huge vibes. I was drinking, she was smoking, which is, you know, our usual MO.
Yep.
She's casually turns around. She's like, "It's my boy Macklemore." I'm like, "Oh hey, Mayor Gabby."
What were you drinking?
Definitely brown. Some
It was probably Jameson.
probably
That's
Jameson.
all people drink in Seattle.
Yeah.
Definitely some brown. There's a picture of me and her and Macklemore. I think I'm holding a Pabst. I got gold teeth in.
Oh, yeah.
That's
It was a night.
very
I got to find that
appropriate.
picture. It's in my old phone. Bring that back up.
The picture from the next day is a different photograph, and I'll tell you about that photo in a second that I sent Gabby the next morning. But
Oh, fuck.
the party ends. It's like 2 a.m. Everybody bounces out. They're all outside. It's raining in Seattle, and all of a sudden,
Naturally.
like, a fight breaks out at a 4-way intersection, and it turns into a brawl, like a street brawl. There's
Which
like
is pretty regular for 95 Slide. Like,
40 motherfuckers are fighting. It's
I
like
go to
the
90.
rumble.
I went to 95 Slide because you're guaranteed to see some good fights outside. Every time, never fails.
Damn.
so there's a
great
brawl
knockouts.
in the street.
Okay.
You know, cousin Macklemore. You know, we're
Knocking fools out.
No,
Just,
no.
Oh, no.
we're all related, right?
just out there. Just leather jacket.
Max like, stop fighting.
I did.
Real shit. Stop it, guys. I was like, all right.
Shut up.
We get
It's like, what up, babe?
That's hilarious.
we watch this whole fight go down. We get in the car to go to the next party. We're off some shit. We're all hyped up. We've seen this big ass fight. Motherfuckers are calling Gabby, mayor of the fucking city. You seen that shit? Guess who's in the fight? I got hit. Who got hit? I got hit.
Right.
All the calls are coming in. She's like, whoop-de-whoop, 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 all back and forth. I'm in a car full of her and 4 of her other homegirls, so it's 5 of us in, like, smooshed into this little car. And we're leaving Capitol Hill, and some drunk bitch on her boyfriend's shoulders. Mind you, Capitol Hill is historically a queer district and a district, a safe district for people of color. I've always felt comfortable chilling and kind of like commingling, which is tight.
Venues is around there as well. Just arts, very
Right.
artsy scene. over
Artsy
there.
scene, right?
Yeah.
Like little San Francisco, just in one
Right.
little area.
Not the place where you want to see an entitled drunk white girl on her boyfriend's shoulders just
Kicking cars because you hopped in the street when we were supposed to be driving.
rewind. We're in
Yeah,
the car. We're in the car. She jumps out in the middle of the street, or they jump out in the middle of the street. We almost hit them. They kicked the side of the car. It was our right away.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And
Oh no.
I was pissed.
So from that point, I'll take the story over from here. Girl kicks the car. Literally like seconds from like when the girl's foot left the car, Blimes had already got out the car and is taking after the girl. So I hop out the car as well. I'm taking off after them. Like Blimes like slaps the girl.
While she's still on her boyfriend's shoulders.
Slaps the girl up. The girl hops off her shoulders like she's like much taller than was anticipated.
I was like, oh, no, it wasn't just the
I should have
shoulders.
sized her up first.
You didn't notice her feet dragging while
Right.
she was on her boy's shoulder.
Yeah, we missed that in our drunken
Excitement.
It's like one of those Halloween
excitement.
costumes where it's like it looks like someone
Yeah.
piggybacking on like a
It
little
probably
small
was.
person.
It probably was.
But,
So they're going at it, you know what I'm saying? There's no need for a jumping. You know, so I'm just making sure
She's
everything's
watching.
fair. You feel me?
I didn't even realize Gabby had got out the car at this point. I was just like in my zone.
vision,
Yeah, I'm like, well, shit, I'm in it now. Let's go.
Yeah, they're fighting.
She gets me by my bun.
She gets her in this move that I find, you know, unsavory. So I'm like, nah, we not going out like that. So, you know, now it's my turn to go up with the girl. So we're
Rectify
fighting.
the situation.
Okay. She was at stage 2.
Yeah. So at that point, we're going at it. I like slam her against the car. I'm punching her up against the car. Look in the car, and there's people in the car. Like they were like in the midst of like trying to drive away, but like now I'm using your car as a weapon. Like I'm beating this girl up on your car right now. So we're going at it. I guess the boyfriend, you know, sees that his girl is just like not winning the fight. So
This random dude.
yeah, he goes to like, I guess like swing a punch at me.
Some random dude from the crowd. A crowd had formed around us at this point. Some random dude from the crowd was like, not Gabby! Dink!
Yeah, knocks the dude on the car.
Out.
It's not happening.
Yeah,
Mayor
so
Gabby, man.
Let's go.
So you know what I'm saying, dropped her, didn't get up. I'm like, all right, we gotta go. So we take off running. You know, after that, we're slapping fives, like, sis for life, you know what I'm saying?
Bloodline.
Yeah.
That's a
Got you, bloodline.
Pricked our fingers, put our fingers together, meshed the blood.
yeah, exactly.
Cut our hands off.
But
Yeah.
it's like the knuckles instead. It's like,
Oh, that's definitely,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
that was
So they
fire.
bled.
That's our logo now.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah, it is. So, yeah, that was the first night we ever met in our lives.
Wow.
The picture I sent her in the morning was me,
With a
still
black
had
eye.
the gold teeth in, but 2 black eyes. Both.
I don't know how she got 2 black eyes.
She got beat by the bun and kneed me in the
Oh,
face.
is that,
That's,
was
I
it
think
the
that's,
nose?
she hit you with
was
the-
it the nose shot?
This is
to
the
double?
unsavory moment that Gab speaks of.
Right.
Yeah, the nose shot.
Eek.
I was working on a documentary
Did you cut that
and
scene?
I went to go chill with my family after, like for the week after this, and I definitely hit him with the, it's the camera equipment hit me in the face while we were
I do my own stunts.
while we were traveling in the van. The camera just slammed me and.
Which I don't know why. You know, I'm
Sorry,
glad
Mom.
she told that. I'm glad she told her family that story because there's no way they would have accepted me in with open arms. How they did had they known.
Yeah. One day, meet you the first day.
Be like, Gab, the one that got you 2 black eyes? No, she's not
okay.
welcome.
I should have said no the moment you told me you wanted to be a rapper. I should have removed
This is
GarageBand off of the
Right. I knew it was
family,
leading to
the
this.
family MacBook.
Damn, that's great. That's the first time that y'all kicked it.
Ever
That was
So
all
that's
the
the
same
first-
day.
All the
when
same
you
day.
went.
Mayor
So
Gabby, bro.
that
Mayor
was the
fucking
first
Gabby.
time we ever met. After that, the second time we ever kicked it again was when we recorded Come Correct. The third time we ever kicked it again was when we shot the video. So between that time, we'd only met each other 3 times.
Well, y'all,
We
we
definitely
did
made up
more
for
than
it.
meet
Yeah.
for that first day. Like, I got homies I still have. I never got into a fight with Chase by my side. I don't fully trust him. You
can't.
You know
You
what I
can't
mean?
know.
But you guys got
Yeah,
past
until you
all
go
that
in combat
one
with
foul
someone,
swoop.
that's how you know what their character is. You feel me?
Yeah. That's crazy. That's baptism by fire.
You know-
for the group,
Yeah.
or what will become the
Damn,
group.
that's a great analogy for that. It was baptism
Oh,
by
that's-
fire.
we do
by
need
fist.
we do need an album name.
Hey,
Baptism by fist. I like this. By hands. Baptism by
By
these hands.
By these hands.
These hands.
That's
These hands.
crazy. That's so.
Now
Was the
these
documentary
hands,
crew
the
filming that? These hands.
The baptism.
That-
Yo.
that's tight.
No, they weren't.
I'm writing that down.
I had taken off on my own night. Like this this is not the same documentary as when I went back to shoot with Gab in the studio. This was something I was working on as a little PA, as a worker bee.
Yeah.
So I was like on my night off,
Right.
came back to the crew with 2 black eyes. Like,
They're like, what? Why
sorry
did
guys.
you take a camera?
Right. But the second time I was up in Seattle filming, there was a crew that was shooting a little doc on me and my pops. My dad's a musician, so they thought it would be an interesting angle to film.
Oh,
My
that's
dad
sick.
and I.
Oh yeah, didn't you tour? Weren't you touring with Pops like last year?
Couple
Was
years
it
ago.
last- Was it a
Yeah,
couple
yeah,
years
couple
ago?
years ago, yeah.
Okay, yeah. How was that, and how's that whole dynamic of being on the road with fam and seeing them in that element?
It's so dope.
Really?
It's the dopest shit ever. I mean, when I was a kid, like, I kind of resented the fact that my pops was always gone. Loved the fact that, you know, he instilled music into my life. I loved that.
Right.
I wouldn't.
What kind of music?
Blues.
Blues.
Blues musician.
Fire.
Yeah.
She was kicking it.
Yeah.
He's a rock star. He's a fucking cool ass dude. He's swaggy. He's funny. He's hilarious.
rock star.
Ladies think he's handsome. He's a cool dude to follow around.
Yeah.
Even if he wasn't my dad, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I was, you know, we got to make up for a lot of lost time. A lot of lost time. I look up to him so much. I always have since I was a kid. I was like, I want to be just like him. And my mom was probably like, fuck, shit.
Yeah.
God damn.
What about me?
Pop was a Rolling Stone type. Like
real shit.
I watched the Clapton documentary on I forget what it was, like on Xfinity or something. I was in Portland visiting my mom's crib, and like that fool's life is tragic. But like in one of the interviews early on, they're talking about I forget who it was. It might have been like Big Bill Bixby, or I can't remember, but it was a quote from being like some interview or archival footage, and like, yeah, to really play the blues, you got to live the blues. You know what I mean? And like, I always thought that was a real interesting thing, because like fans or whatever hit you up like, oh, or other artists like, how do you get past writer's block, blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
authenticity,
yeah,
baby.
I'm like, you want to change your art, change your life, because it's a direct. It's the whole
life imitates art.
Imitates life, imitates the circle. That's crazy.
He's been grinding his whole life. He's been in a band since he was 16. He's getting up there. I'm not gonna out him on camera, but he's
sorry for a guy. Yeah, you could say guys.
Old as shit.
He's
old as shit.
He's almost 60 now, and they tour every year, 2-3 times a year. They're still grinding. He's not living no glamorous life, but he does what he loves.
What does he play?
He plays the bass.
Fire.
Bass man.
Yeah.
Bass man. So much inspiration has come from him, and just soul.
Yeah.
Just genuine soul. When I was a kid, they were on tour with B.B. King and Buddy Guy 2 summers in a row, and getting to meet a legend like B.B. King.
That's crazy.
At 10 years old, and just seeing his music played live, and seeing what real, genuine heart and soul is when placed with music, and knowing that these are the kind of, if I want to make my dad proud, these are the kind of shoulders or elbows he's rubbing his whole life. If I want to make him proud, I better come with it, you know?
Right.
And I think that is something that a lot of us always strive for, is, a father's approval, right? So that's been a big theme in my life, and finally making him really, really proud, it feels really good. He's like, he'll get on the mic at shows. My baby girl's here tonight. She's killing it in her own right. He does his whole speech.
Hey, he's got bars too.
Look her up on YouTube. Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah, shout out to Pops and Tommy Castro and the Painkillers is the name of their band. Go support them.
Was
iTunes,
that the first
Spotify.
time touring with it, was as an adult, or did you ever?
Totally,
as a young?
yeah. I toured with them like maybe 3 times in the last 3 years. I was working. I was driving the tour bus. I was grinding.
Driving the bus?
I was driving the bus, 45-foot Prevost.
Hell no. I was driving the
we don't need to hire
rental
a driver.
SUV, but like on tour, and that shit's a pain. I can't even imagine driving the bus.
I wrote a whole bunch of raps.
Yeah.
In that driver's seat. Yeah. But yeah. I'm blessed
Not
to
a bad
be.
life.
I don't think I would have half of the wherewithal to be where I am right now if it wasn't for not only the fact that my father's a musician, but the genre of music that he's involved in.
Right.
And the fact, that he's never claimed to be someone he's not. He's always just been himself through and through, and just said that this is what resonates with him, and I can draw from that a lot,
Yeah, definitely.
I've never claimed to live a street life. I've never claimed to be somebody I'm not in this rap shit at all. I'm just going to be myself through and through, and that authenticity I can hope will carry me,
Yeah.
I ain't no pussy.
All right now.
Okay.
Let them know. Ain't no bitch.
Shit.
Ain't no bitch in me.
I wasn't raised, I didn't eat off a silver spoon, I'll tell you that much. But yeah.
And speaking of that real quick too, like I was actually curious. So you grew up in the Bay, right?
Yeah, San Francisco.
San Francisco? Mm-hmm. That's like, when did you move to LA?
like 7 years ago now.
7 years
Yeah.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
2011. Yeah.
there's a lot I could tell, like even in the like style, flow, and everything. There's a lot of the Bay roots.
Oh man,
there,
Mac Dre.
Definitely
Mac
has
Dre is my
favorites.
Yeah.
Mac Dre is like my #1 favorite rapper. I just love how quirky and witty and
Right.
weird he was, man.
Yeah.
Rest his
yeah.
soul.
Yeah, definitely.
I wish
but-
we had some folks like that were like not afraid to just be hella comedy.
Yeah.
Because he's hard as a motherfucker, right?
Right.
But he's still comedy.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's almost like Bass God, which is,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's kind
And
of
you
like
always
in
give
the
you some
same-
zingers, man.
and
That's like one of the most quotable rappers ever. Like,
Oh, yeah,
he
yeah,
has
the little 1-2s.
yeah, he got something for everything, for any occasion, for
Get
anything
on
that's
the bitch's
happening.
head like some headphones.
You feel me?
Anything else? Not my job.
job.
What was the squirt
Not
my
my job.
gun? What was that quote? I know this too. I'm tripping.
What song?
It's one of those. I wanted to say is this. Was it not my job?
Like, he just says it out loud.
But-
He just says it on
Yeah, you know
everything.
he's got the-
His TV episode
Right?
ever.
No, that's definitely apparent. And like also I was curious not to get too far. No, we're having a conversation. Like
Yeah, we
as
chilling.
far as like, I seen even on socials, you definitely kind of, holding up the, the flag for who you are or whatever. I don't think it's like the necessarily like the norm that hip hop is accustomed to, you know what I'm saying? Like representing like, like I'm queer, whoop de whoop. Like, so what
Yeah.
is that? What kind of comes with all that, as
It's it's hard. I think it's hard because I get pigeonholed a lot, and that's like really rubs me the wrong way. Like people will call me a gay MC, or
Right.
people will try
That's corny.
and sell me or market me as being something. And my whole goal, like my whole shit is that I am who I am. I don't like labels. I don't like to identify because I'm gonna live my life in whichever lane I choose to at whatever moment I choose to.
Right.
I'm pretty fluid on that level, but the way that I don't need to go out and be like a hardcore advocate in terms of speaking about being gay. My advocacy comes from getting on as a gay
Right.
rapper. That's where
Right.
my advocacy comes
Yeah.
from. I would love to speak on issues, and when if I get the platform to do so, which I'm not quite there with yet, I'll do it,
Yeah.
right? But I need to build that platform first. First and foremost, I need to be appreciated as an MC before anything else. Before a woman, before
Right.
being
Big
appreciated
facts.
as a woman, before being appreciated as queer, before being appreciated as white. I need to be appreciated as the artist that I am here to be.
Yeah.
The artist formerly known as... I need to be appreciated as the artist formerly known as Prince.
And
I need to appreciate.
or so
being
wait,
white.
did you,
I need
but
you-
wait, did you say?
need you.
Did you say real quick though? Did you say formally or formerly? Because
That's
that's
important.
the thing. Yeah, that's important to me. It's depending on where my respect level is gonna go for you. Everything else don't matter. Quite as
Definitely
well.
Thanks, man.
formally known. Formally known. I would like to formally be addressed
Yeah, like
as,
at formal events.
as Prince. You would address me as
Yeah,
a
but
Prince.
on a casual level, you can call me
Blimes,
blind.
exactly, for sure. Nah, but I guess
That's real.
I guess you kind of asked, what comes with that. What comes with that is that there's a lot of motherfuckers who still have small minds,
Yeah.
who think that you cannot be good at what you do and be gay at the same time, especially in hip hop. I mean, that goes for so many different fields of work, right? But especially in hip hop, there's a lot of small-minded people that just turn off if they know that.
Yeah.
So why announce, like, I'm cool with being who I am. I'm cool with people knowing it, but it's not my job to go wave a flag in
Right.
people's faces, I feel. And this is only my personal experience. So many queer people are so proud because
Yeah.
of the struggles that they've been through to be able to speak about being queer. And I respect that. But for me, my whole shit is that I get to put on for us,
Yeah.
put on for the city, put on for the gay city.
Yeah.
I get to go put on for us if I make it. So let me go make it, and then I'll put on for us.
It's like my identity,
Yeah.
my existence is an act of rebellion.
For
you
sure.
know what I mean? In
And
that
also, like,
way.
I just
And
don't even
representation,
understand.
you know?
I don't understand why, like, your sexuality, like, matters. Like,
Right?
why the fuck?
If you're just a male,
I just don't.
that don't come into question. You
I get
know
the
what I'm
most
saying?
hatred from dudes about being queer, and it's like, I'm rapping about shit you can relate to.
Right.
So why does it bother you?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't be getting that shit at all. Like,
you might learn how to do some things a little better in your relationship.
You might pick up a few tips from my lyrics.
Nah, I definitely
make sense to me.
Yeah, and you know the context. Even I'm curious and everything because I feel like in ways hip hop has came a long way in terms of like. Not to say it's by any means where it could be, should be, or whatever perfect, but in terms of like misogyny and homophobia, I feel is becoming less and less. Well, I know that it's still very, you know, but I feel like there's been improvement in a lot of ways. You know, like even within the most offensive niche of battle rap, it's like. I remember yours is like hella cool, like oh fag, and like saying all these. Like I said that shit way back, and I was like,
I threw that shit around, and watching those battles back now, I'm like, yikes.
Yeah, cringe, same. You know what I mean?
You know?
To where now it's like such a thing that we mock. Where when we watch even old battles and someone says it, we drink like it's a drinking game, like not to celebrate, but it's like, oh no, this is like a reminder. We've come a long way. But you know, I know it's by no means perfect, but it's just an observation that I see there is some growth within that. You know,
cool,
at least,
and I respect
I
that, and I think people are trying harder. You know, and I think a big part of that is this kind of honest place that we're at with hip hop, which I think Kendrick really busted wide open.
Yeah.
When swimming pools went probably multi-platinum, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know my facts.
Yeah.
And I listened to all the lyrics of that song, and I was like, he's making formerly taboo shit in hip-hop sound so fucking cool and get mainstream love. He's getting every drunk person in the club to sing about the peer pressures of alcohol.
Right,
You know?
and like alcoholism.
while drinking alcohol.
It's like a conscious like alcoholism song that you turn up to.
Yeah.
Totally, and like I think that, you know, I think that he's opened up. I mean, people, there's, you know, in conscious hip hop, people have always been honest, for sure. But in the mainstream, I think Kendrick has a lot to do with being honest. And, you know, then you saw your Macklemore singing about
I jokingly say watching
shit.
battles, like, I'm like, Macklemore made it not cool to say, to drop F-bombs.
Exactly. you know, and people started to be honest. And
it's tongue-in-cheek, but it, you know, is a big thing at least, you know what I mean?
I can appreciate that.
That was for sure.
I love the freedom to be really honest in my music now. I love that that's where we're at with hip-hop right now. I love it. And one grievance, you know, while we're on the topic, is an important one that I think people need to hear. A grievance that I have is that Gab is now considered gay by association.
I was just gonna say
to
that
the internet.
They're
like, look at these two dykes, you know. And
because she's gay. Why? Because now we rap together. Now how people are like, wait. So she's gay. Are you now? No, I'm not. I'm still like that. You're right. Why would that change? Why would that change?
Right, and also just do a little homework. Go listen to any of Gab's music, and you'll hear that she's catching all dick blessings.
Yes, and please stop blocking them, because by these assumptions, you know, you're fucking up the narrative. I mean, but like, it's one of those things. Like I said, like, I don't understand why like making your sexuality known is like, why does it matter? That's like your personal business, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just is annoying to me, like when people like post stuff like, oh, check out this gay duo, and I like have this gay duo like to throw it, you know what I'm saying? Like for you to, and that just speaks to like, just journalism is dead. Like no one does the research. Like if you're gonna like bunch us together in like, you know, some shit like that, why didn't you just do like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have took that time to realize that and maybe mention it, just because it's just like hella corny, you know what I'm saying, to bunch us together. So I'll like reach out to people and, you know, in a lighthearted way, I'd be like, I really appreciate the support and, you know, you guys supporting us and posting about us. However, I would appreciate it if you would stop blocking my dick blessings, because I'm, you know, a heterosexual woman. So just letting you know that, you know, every time I've said it, you know, they've been cool about it. Like, oh, haha, my bad. You know, we'll change it up, or I respect that. But like, it's no slight to anybody. Like, I have no like ill feelings, or I'm like not trying to be mean about it, or like, you know, anything like that. It's just I'm
homophobic.
Not. Yeah, you know, like it's not any of that. Like I'm just not gay. Like that's just point blank period. I'm not gay. I like dudes. She likes girls.
Man.
So the fuck what? Like
exactly.
so the fuck what? Like. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No,
It's
I
corny.
think it definitely is part, kind of derives from, in music especially, I think it's like a microcosm in life, but like, it's very
Okay,
quantifiable
let's
in
go.
music that to like have to put everything into a box, you know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, I think I've referenced this before, like, oh, Kendrick is like that intelligent, like 1 foot out, you
Yeah.
know, like right there, good kid, Mad City, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like Nipsey Hussle, intelligent, hustler, gangster,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this person is this, and we want to like put everything in this neat little box, and that's a big part of like branding is that, when you get to, okay, well, what's your story, what's your
Yeah.
identity, what's your brand, who are you? And I could definitely see just with that model how that's the first thing music journalists and these things want to latch on to, because it's like, oh, that's what you are. You know what I mean? Like you walk around with the label above your head.
Right.
Like,
Or they hit you with the local female
Right.
female rapper. Like, God damn, why I gotta be local female?
Right, more people,
Right.
people are gonna click on that
local
link just to
female
hate
aspiring.
on it.
Yeah.
You know, I had a fucking interview on Hip Hop DX, and it was a huge interview for me. It was such a big deal at the time. I've had other shit on Hip Hop DX, and then I had this big in-depth interview with Hip Hop DX, and the headline, much love to the writer. He was really just trying to give me some shine, which I totally appreciate. But the headline was something like gay rapper, this and that. And there's
It's like clickbait.
so much more hate on that article
Right.
than any other article that's
Because
ever been
they just read
released
the headline
on
and be
me.
like, oh, this is some bullshit.
Because they went
Like,
on there just
right.
to hate on it based on the headline, right? Mm-hmm. And that's hard for me.
Right.
That's a struggle for me to deal with. Is like, I'm a sensitive human being, man, and to just know how much work I put into this and how to really be confident in my bars and my songwriting ability, and to just see people just blatantly hate on me for something that has nothing to do with either of those things.
And just because it's one word in something that's out of that was typed and put, and that's like their first impression.
Right.
And
Right.
So they don't even get
And you're
to your
supposed to
art.
like digest music. Like before this note, like
Shout out.
if they just heard you, they wouldn't know that you was any of that. So
Right.
then
Right.
you know what I'm saying, you would like them off of what you hear. That's why I kind of do miss the mystique of artists, like how it used to be. Like
Right.
I didn't know that Twista looked like how he did for
Right.
hella long.
Yeah,
Even though
yeah.
like they still did interviews and all that shit, but like it wasn't a big thing to know what
You had to, like, get the
someone looked like. You know what I'm
DVDs or
saying? Like
something,
I like his
yeah.
music. Like there was hella artists I didn't know were either white or like, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't know anything about him. I like
Right.
the music, but like when you see the image first and then people get to control the narrative and shit, like it just fucks up like the heart of the,
Of the art.
Yeah.
Heart of the art.
Heart of the art.
Shout out to the folks that do deep dive and do read the articles
Yeah.
and do listen to the back catalog and do their homework and speak on shit that they know, not
Yeah.
that they assume, right?
Right.
Shout out to
Yeah.
y'all, for real.
Yeah, and maybe even
Mm-hmm.
the people who like clicked it because of that in a positive way and like learned about you and was like, oh, like
I
that's
needed
really
that.
dope. Yeah, exactly.
Word.
Like I needed that representation. Yeah, there's definitely been a shift, like social media age of like where it's not
Trolling.
about the music. Also, it's like, who are you? Can I hang out with you? Like
Yeah.
I need more and more. Attention spans are shorter than they've ever been. Like attention is currency. So
Yeah,
you got to
for
keep
real.
dropping shit to remain in people's eyes. The more likes, the more views,
That's
the
real.
the more you can monetize. Brands want to
Exactly.
pair with you, and so it's less and less about the music as much as you. And it's like, do I like this person from watching their story? Okay, now let me go check out
Yeah.
their music.
Exactly.
rather than even the opposite of like, I seen their music, let me learn about this person. You had to like catch a concert DVD or something back in the day,
Right,
or like
right.
you catch a live interview. You know what I mean? Like, so
Bro, in the comments, the comment section is like killed the game. Like comment sections are fucking brutal. Like for instance, like you see the people like reality TV, like like the 11 hip hops and shit. Like these people are playing a character. Like this is a scripted thing, and people will be in these comments like, oh, "I hope this bitch and her baby dies." Like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah,
like why are
yeah.
you so mad, bro? Like this is not how this person
comment
is. This is
section
a
are like
character.
people at the wrestling
Like,
at
what the fuck is
WrestleMania
wrong
with
with
the
you?
song.
Oh my god.
Like, that's
dog,
What a
that's
great
real.
comparison.
That's
Oh, shit.
Oh
That's
man, those are the
hilarious.
best sides. They say some foul shit.
yeah, like
Thank you, Ava.
why are you so personally invested in that? Like,
Yeah, to even like say some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, Bruh.
The comment section is like permanent road rage. Like
Yeah.
if you notice, like when you're in your car, it's like kind of a different world and you behave differently. So like someone cuts you off, you're like, you motherfucker, like
Right.
or people react like that where I'm like, if this was just in person and someone walked in front of you or whatever,
Yeah.
you wouldn't
never.
say that to where they
Exactly.
can, but there's this buffer zone that gives you this like extra, and it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
with
people
the socials.
lost like the art of getting your ass whipped has kind of been lost. Like
Right.
people can just disrespect you from a screen and never have like the
To
deal with the
consequences.
consequences
Yeah.
that come. Like
And
it
Lord
just-
forbid you punch someone in the face.
And you're
then
going to
everyone's like,
jail,
oh my
like, just a
God,
lawsuit.
I can't believe they weren't perfect. Like sometimes someone's got to get punched in the face.
I already know that there's gonna be a discussion about the story that we just
And it's
told.
always
Right.
yeah, off top.
Hold
No,
up.
that's cool as fuck.
Do you chug?
Huh?
Do you even chug, bro?
Do I chug?
Do you chug?
You
chug?
I'll do an upside.
You guys
wanna have a
like,
chugging
bottle.
contest? Come on, man.
No, hell no.
Come on, man. I was the
I gotta
champion
sit
at summer
here-
camp.
We got to sit here for another 2 hours doing.
A lady sits.
Small bladder.
Yeah, I got
Small bladder
baby
problems.
bladder. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, mama.
Okay. Shit. You gotta open your throat. Now let me put
Now
you
gonna
on
have to
some
go to the
gas.
bathroom.
You can learn from each other. It's a symbiotic relationship. You teach me
Yo,
a few things.
Am I
I'll
turning
teach
red?
You really took advantage of that moment. That was tight.
How you been, Il?
I've been good. Just jumped this. This is actually episode 4
Tight.
of this podcast. You know,
Nice.
so yeah,
Thank you for
first-
having us.
Yeah. The first female guest doubled
Hey.
up. You know what I
Tight.
mean?
We'd prefer if it were just called us
no,
guests.
and that isn't me just saying that. That's
We
because
prefer if you just didn't
specifically,
say
like,
anything at all.
Sat was like, wait, who else is on? Because Satire was the last one. He's like, who else has been on? And he's like, you need some female energy. You need some feminine. And I was like, damn, I don't want to be
Shouts out
exclusionary.
to Satire.
Also, I went to you for the
We
for the
saged
feminine energy.
We saged the podcast with
Yeah.
our feminine
Yeah,
energy.
yeah.
We
And the
Palo
black-
Santo
Yeah.
this bitch.
Exactly. I met
Yeah.
quota. Boom. Males the next year.
Damn.
No.
SMH.
So Seattle,
Yeah.
obviously Northwest. You know, being from Portland. When did you move? You said was it like
Man, like 4 months ago, maybe?
you moved to
About 4
LA
months
4
ago.
months ago from
Seattle.
206?
Yep.
How was that transition?
Not as crazy as people warned me it would be. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You know, you hear if you can, what they say, like, if you could survive like a year or two in LA, you can live anywhere. But it's like, man, this ain't shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of similarities with living in the Northwest, like, specifically just, like, the cost of living. Like, it's
Right.
hell expensive out in
Yeah.
Seattle. It's hell expensive out here. Like,
Damn.
you just gotta make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? So there's already that mindset. So it wasn't too hard to, like, you know, get.
Navigate.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's 4 months in, still the honeymoon phase.
Yeah,
After
I mean, I
about a
have
year-
my issues. I do have my issues.
After about a year, LA gave me asthma.
yeah,
At like 30
shit.
years old, 31 years
yeah,
old.
the air is
Never-
trash.
yeah.
I might have to start rocking the mask for real. I got my Cameron Ebola mask. I'm gonna have to bring that one back
Right.
because
Walking around with bottled air, like when you go to the Northwest, like
Fill
yo,
up.
but the difference is crazy though. The
Oh,
difference
shit.
is hella crazy. I was just there last week and like, yeah, you breathe better.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But out here, the sun does hella well for like my skin and my
Right.
hair, like and my attitude. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But like, I wish I could mesh
I was just gonna
both
say,
and find somewhere to live like
right?
that.
We need to
because,
fabricate. We need to fabricate.
Like I miss the rain. It don't
Right.
rain here.
environment with the
Yeah.
duality of both.
Yeah.
yeah.
live in
Last
a
time
rainforest.
let's see, was it end of last year? It
Sure.
started raining, and in North Hollywood, it was like a day and a half of rain, like nothing by
And the city
Northwest.
shut
end.
down, huh?
Oh yeah, in the valley, like where I was
People
staying
skirting off the
specifically.
road.
People cannot
In the
drive in the
buildings.
rain out here. But I don't blame them because all the oil slicks out.
Word.
But I'm like, people
Trash
drive
and
here
shit.
when it's rainy, like in the Northwest, how they drive when it's snow. Like
People in the Northwest can't drive for shit. Like, that's just a fact.
I've been saying
So it
that.
must be everywhere. Just no one could drive for shit. Because that's how I feel about here.
No way.
People can't
LA,
drive for shit here, but it's like different. Like
You get in where you
levels.
fit in and you go, and no
Yeah.
one's
People
salty
are
about.
crazy
There's
here.
actually a fast lane.
There's
There
like
ain't that in the
barely any
Northwest.
honking
Seattle,
because
Portland,
everyone just expects
you're
you to
driving,
fuck up.
you'll be stuck in traffic thinking like there's an accident, like, you know what I'm saying, what's going on? And there's literally probably one nigga driving 30 miles an hour on the freeway holding up like 10,000 cars.
And no one wants to pass them and shit. Yeah, it's the worst. It's trash.
Like, so that's why there's traffic in
Scary.
Seattle. Every single day there's one nigga driving 30 miles an hour on the way home, holding up 10,000 cars behind him.
This is like fourth-hand
you.
information, but like a Uber driver, I was in Portland and I was taking an Uber somewhere, and he's like, "Oh, you're from here? You live in LA?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm from." Is either like LA, outside LA, or maybe San Diego, I forget. But he's like telling me about the study because we both were having the same conversation where I'm like, people up here cannot drive.
Yeah.
And like even have family members who are like, oh, these Californians coming here and don't know how to drive. And I'm like, no, I'm like, I'm from here, but that's one thing we can't say.
Yeah.
And so I was connecting with this Uber driver about it, and he was like, well, there's this study. He told me who did the study or whatever, but we'll say they did a study about like drivers in traffic in Portland, and it was like basically the gist of it was they tested all these drivers under stress, and what tends to happen is Portland drivers, whenever anyone's like coming up on them, like going to pass on either side or getting too close, the natural inclination, their anxiety levels rise and they hit the brake. Whereas like the Californian drivers and shit, they like speed up.
So you
like
can't
pass,
them.
and so it creates this terrible dynamic that just riddles.
That's very telling about Portland people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, damn, skittish.
I love this city, but it's that for sure. I'm like, this is the worst driving ever. Or the thing where it's like you're turning left and the light goes red and no one will turn.
Yeah.
Like here, it's like 3 cars. No one's mad at that.
Yeah.
After the red light, turning
So we're
left.
gonna wait the full cycle.
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Did you hear about the like Tesla or Elon Musk and them doing like tunnels
I heard about
underneath
that.
LA?
Oh, shit. So they can drive. That's the Tesla lane?
Yeah. I've always saying they might have like there might be holdups, but I thought when he was on Rogan, they were talking about it, how they were already building it. But so
That sounds extremely accurate.
yeah,
Like it
right?
could really be true.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything's possible
Why he's like
these
hitting
days.
a backwood. Like, yeah,
In
we're
the
building tunnels underneath LA. It's gonna be awesome.
I need to do more research
I'm telling
on
folks
Elon
it's
Musk
Walmart.
because I hear he's the new like hot white guy to rap about in rap music right now, and I'm
Where it
like,
used
why
to
is
be
he so?
Trump.
Yeah, like why is he so cool? Like I need to do my research. I'm not very hip on.
Yeah, he's got
Elon
like
Musk.
Tesla and
I mean, I know about
SpaceX
Tesla, but I'm
and-
like, did he be like wilding? Like wild niggas love him so much.
He
Like
made-
there's
he-
got to be something about him that made black people like him. So
well,
I
he
gotta.
smoked a blunt with Rogan on the podcast, a
Oh, that's
backwood,
lit.
but also he
Oh,
like
that'll
manufactured
get you.
like
That'll get
that's
you.
probably
I'm
it.
surprised you missed that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I
He's
did.
like-
I'm
You
not
usually
hip.
He was like,
me up.
"What is this?"
I'm not hip.
And he's like smoking, and then like his stock plummeted for like 2 days or something. But
shit. Wow.
But here's something about him. He manufactured like 40,000 flamethrowers, and purposely called them not flamethrowers just so he could sell them.
my
And then once
God.
they're sold out, he's like, "All right, it's done."
Oh, so he's just
like,
got
"Oh, this is
wild
just
money
cool
and does shit that anybody that had wild money would want to do.
Yeah.
Totally.
The first time I
feel it.
seen was like one of them memes that are probably not true, that you just see, and it's like, oh, Elon Musk like helped found or whatever PayPal, and then sold it for $1 billion, and then like I'm making these numbers up, but it was something like this, like 300 mil into SpaceX, 400 mil into Tesla, and 100 mil into this, and was broke, sleeping on the carpet, eating cold
right.
pizza for,
Of course.
and I doubt that's what it was, but it's something like that. And that was the first time I seen him. I was like, Elon Musk. I'm like, who's this
yeah.
Russian Elon?
Right.
But yeah, tunnels
Not
though
it.
underneath LA that'll supposedly
Get you around from point A to point B faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I know what my goals are for now, so I can get access to those tunnels.
Right? Yeah. Are you gonna have
Let
to
me get my financial goals up so I can get access to
that club?
I seen some animated video. I couldn't. Yeah, exactly. It'll probably be like some card you gotta pay monthly or something.
You have to have a Tesla for sure.
Oh damn! If
Drive on that lane.
The Tesla lane.
That'd be cold blood.
I mean, I kind of fuck with Teslas. Like, I'm not big on like, I like old school cars, like specifically, but like Teslas are fire. Like, if I had to get a new car,
you get the sport or the SUV.
The SUV's kind of fire.
Same.
Yeah. He was talking about crazy shit, like you can play like video games on it. Like there's all these hidden like Easter egg features on different Teslas.
That's
where
crazy.
It's like Galaga or some old school video game where you can like play it with it. Like if you program it, whatever, it'll pop up and you can play it on
like
it.
an iPhone? That's crazy.
He's like a wacky dude who's just like, I just want to do some crazy shit.
That's filthy.
Remind me not to drive in front of Teslas ever.
Right.
For that very purpose.
I seen this animated video.
Fuck that.
It was like you drive onto a platform, and I don't know if this is like an early thing. You like drive onto a platform and it locks you in or whatever your tires, and then it goes beneath, down or whatever, and like shoots,
what? So you can do some GTA shit?
Fast
that's
across,
wild.
From there to the valley or wherever you're going. And he was making some hella crazy points about how he's like, we live 3-dimensionally. There's stories and building. He's like, but yet our transportation system's 2 dimensions. He's like, it doesn't make any sense. He's like, so it's cheaper to go down than build up though.
Damn.
But that'll definitely help when we're trying to leave this podcast tonight. Sure. Just hop in the Tesla tunnel and get the fuck out of here.
Goals.
Those are goals.
Those are hella goals. Tesla tunnel.
Right.
I fucks with that.
Yeah, no,
All right, you put me on. I like this guy.
Yo, I'm sold.
Sold.
Rights bars.
I was about to say he'll be in the next record for sure.
I was curious. I was bumping the songs like you got Come Correct, Nasty, right? That's both. And then there's a third joint that was released not too long ago, right?
Well, it might have come out. We did like a little sneak peek on this thing called Jam in the Van, so that might have come.
Okay,
we might have seen something on that. That song's not out at all yet.
Yeah, we only have 2 songs
as a group.
Got you. Yeah. Sway in the morning.
It was
King Tech.
Close. It was the Wake Up Show.
That's what I meant.
Wake
That's
Up
what I
Show.
meant.
Yeah,
Wake
yeah,
Up Show.
Wake
Wake
Up
Up Show.
Show.
My
Yeah,
bad. But I seen y'all on there gassing. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I seen y'all on there gassing.
Thanks, man.
What the fuck? How was that? Like, that's
tight.
like a dream
It was
for every real
fun.
lyricist. So to be, you know what I'm saying, to be on the Wake Up Show.
Yeah.
Like the Eminem, Chino XL, Tech Nine. Like,
exactly. That's like
seeing
literally
Crooked
that's,
Eye.
yeah.
Like, that's sound bombing era.
Those are the ones
We
that
were in
I
there.
grew up listening to.
We did it.
You know.
That's crazy.
We're part of the alumni.
Yeah, I was peeping that on YouTube. How was it, like, that whole experience? I need to know.
I mean, honestly, like that was.
I need to know to prepare.
For sure. Hell yeah.
Right?
It's hella nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, I knew that I had bars. I knew we had bars. I know we have chemistry. It's really tight that we can go back and forth, and pick up where the other one left off. I felt confident in that. But just to be sitting in that chair and know the pressure was on and the world is watching, or they're gonna be
millions
watching.
Of people are gonna be listening to this, okay?
Right.
All right, y'all.
Exactly.
Like, oh shit.
Precisely. That's super nerve-wracking. And not only that, it's just like fans of hip hop are ruthless.
Yeah, very critical.
If you fuck up in their eyes, you're probably on the outs, at least for a couple years.
You're a mumble rapper immediately.
Immediately.
If you don't mumble, like you're in that category now.
I knew she was a fucking.
Was that an 808? Mumble rapper. No, I swear I heard an 808.
Take off your Wu-Tang shirt. You're done.
But it was super fucking cool. Once the whole experience was over, it was like a huge sigh of relief. We got through that. We gassed. We spit bars. People called in and had great questions for us. I mean, it was a great night. It was in the very beginning of when we first got together as a group, like first thing we did. So it's finally getting circulated now more and more, as more and more people find out about us, they're seeing the link to it. So that shit still pops up like all
every
the time.
day. Yeah.
And you guys are like really playing off each other, like it kind of really painted the chemistry. If that's someone's first impression, how you guys were bouncing off each other like that was.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that shit was fire.
Thanks.
I can't even imagine I can't even imagine just being part of that whole lineage. You know what I mean? Like that, those used to be sacred, like the sacred scrolls.
What you saying? It's
me,
not
you know
anymore?
what I mean? No, it definitely is. I'm just saying, it
embedded.
added on. Yeah, exactly. Embedded in that history is
you.
crazy.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Nah, yeah, some
Appreciate
hip hop
that.
shit. I mean, like, I really only, like I always say, like, I only care what the OGs have to say about me. Like, I don't really give a shit about anything else. Like,
No
that's
booties.
I don't care.
Right.
You know, respect it, but like, yeah, I don't care about anything, like anybody's, I guess, like approval of anything other than like the OGs. So it's like really dope to, like, they fuck with us. The OGs like fuck with us hella tough. And I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I've
OG
seen
favorites.
that.
OG
What's
favorites.
like who? Like something about like what post was it? Weren't you in the lab with like Warren G and shit?
Yeah,
not too long ago?
definitely.
Like
Warren
couple
fucks
months-
with us. Meth fucks with us.
Right.
Bahamadia fucks with us.
Rodriguez. De La Soul.
De La Soul. Fucking.
Ope. Obviously, Hyro.
Yeah, Opio. Primo.
Yeah,
Like,
DJ Premier fucking cut our record. Scratched to it on his show. Posted the video of him doing it on his Instagram. Shouted us out, all this shit. Like,
Oh,
That was a couple months
you
ago.
posted that. Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah.
We, you know, now we're like, so
Crooked
when's the
Eye
studio
fucks with
session,
us.
Primo?
right.
Right.
Shoot me the
Crooked Eye.
folder.
Fucking.
Yeah.
My guy DJ Michael Watts.
Mm-hmm.
He created Swish House.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's-
Like,
That's
we
It's
got.
honestly, it's easy to impress. Obviously, clearly, if you've heard the radio, you know it's easy to impress these youngsters.
Mm-hmm.
But the skeptics, when you can impress the fucking old heads who are always forever skeptical.
Large Pro, Sean C. I
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Sean
If
C.
you're a
Large
large
Pro.
pro.
When you can impress the OGs, and you know, I like to look at that as a token of, here we go again, authenticity.
No,
you know,
yeah,
they
yeah.
can read the authenticity that we bring to the table. So.
Yeah, that's really dope. Just to see you guys getting that well-deserved cosigns by such pillars
Right.
of this craft, man. That's really tight.
So much honor be placed upon our shoulders.
Right. I mean, not even like,
united.
not
Yeah,
even,
exactly.
not even a cosign. Just to know that like people, like artists that I grew up listening to and still like listen to now, like know who I am. Like that's really
Yeah.
just the
You don't
greatest
have to even
pleasure
say
I
it in
get.
public.
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
give
care.
a fuck.
Right,
just to
right.
know
The
that
DM
you know
is
me,
enough.
like to know that like I see you and you be like, oh, what's up, Gab? Like. That's all I need. Like that's just
It's
you know
true.
living dreams. Like you know listening to artists and be like, that nigga gonna know me one day. And like that
Right.
nigga really know me. Like that's just tight. Like not
That's-
even a cosign. Just to know that you see me
Yeah.
and you know me and you appreciate what I do. Like that's everything to me.
Yeah, we're all fans first, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's what got us into this is that. And I've definitely had some surreal experiences. What was one specifically that like you had like meeting somebody who you look like what's a
For
surreal
me,
experience
off
you had
top is
meeting
Meth,
someone?
and
Yeah.
I met Meth through Blimes, so I'm forever indebted to her because Meth is like one of my all-time favorite, not even just artists, but like just people from his music to his movies to like also his interviews. Like I've always like really connected with the way that Meth feels about the industry. Like he's very like against like the labels and how they try to take advantage of the artists, and then like like bloggers that are only out to like say weirdo shit like we were saying, to like clickbait and shit. Like
Right.
he be against that, and like I've always been like, yeah, man, I feel exactly the same. Like I've always liked his attitude on shit. Like
We're supposed to be friends.
yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I've always just really fucked with him hella tough. And then for, when she told me that they had met and did the song, like, I was so happy for her, bro. Like,
Right.
I was hella hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
think
hella...
you cried?
I think I did.
Before you even knew that down the line you would end up hanging out with him. And
You
kicking
feel
it
me?
with
I mean, I
him.
knew
That's
it
fire.
2 degrees of separation.
Yeah,
but
right.
I was really, like, proud of her. And, for them to do the song and how well it did, and then for her to ask me to be on the remix, and then to get Meth's blessing and be like, yeah, she's dope, put her on there. I was like, I could die. Like,
There's
I
a
could
remix,
literally-
y'all.
I
It's
could
on the
literally
B.A.G.
go
album.
to sleep and then die in my sleep, and I would wake up, or I mean, you would find me dead with a smile on
Smile
my
on a smile.
face. Like I didn't care.
did it.
Yeah.
That whole
Like, that was
situation
tight.
is still so surreal to me that I haven't even really accepted that it's real.
Yeah, how did that?
It just
come
doesn't
to
feel
be?
real.
And then
Like,
you
I-
meet them, and then they're like the most down to earth. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they say, you don't ever want to meet like your
Yeah,
heroes,
yeah.
but like when you do, and they're like
Mm-hmm.
someone
Cool
that
as
you would get along with if he wasn't Method Man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
Yeah.
like, damn, that gives you faith that
He's one of
there's
the
still
most
real
humble
ones
human
out there.
beings in the world. He told me anything you ever need, I got you, and he has never let that he's never let his end of the bargain down ever. Not that I have an end of any bargain. There is
Right.
no bargain.
Right.
He's
Right.
kept his word. He's
Yeah.
been one of the most genuine people I've ever met at the level of success that he has. He was like, let me know. I guess he's a big fan of my battles.
Mm.
And
I
when
guess he said it.
he's a big fan of my battles.
Yeah.
Big fan.
And when they were starting the show, Drop the Mic on TBS, which is Celebrity Battle Raps, I guess they were in the writing room and they were like, or the producers, were having a discussion and they were like, who do we need to bring in terms of battle rappers to coach on the show? And he was like, Blimey, you got to get Blimey in here. She's one of my all-time favorites.
That's crazy.
Insane, right?
That's dope.
So I went to the set and I met him, which was, I shake thinking about it, how much I was shaking when this happened.
Right, like sweaty.
Totally,
palms,
completely.
Palms are sweaty, knee sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Arms were
spaghetti.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. And he was just like, I fucking love you. Like anything you need, I got you. You ready? Let me know when you're ready for the verse. I got you. And I was in the studio the next day, and I wrote 2 songs and sent them to him, and he sent back the verse with like under a month. And I was like, man, there's so many people in this industry that say I got you, that
Right.
never got you.
Never
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Never got you.
Will never
Yeah.
get
You
you.
could have-
Never got you. Nothing.
Right? You're,
Oh, you
You-
meant like you tricked me, like I got you. That's what you meant.
That's the wow.
you
okay.
can be falling off the cliff like you got me, and they're like,
gotcha.
Send it again. What? What do you mean?
The send it again is the foot in the face and you're falling. falling
Yeah, I don't
down.
want to search your name.
this is a new phone. What? Send me the conversation. New phone. Who did?
Yo.
Damn.
Yeah, but yeah. So that
Too real.
literally like I still can't believe it all happened. And he literally just on the strength, on the love.
That's
on the love.
crazy. I mean, I can see you've been working a long time at a high level, so that doesn't
Thank you,
surprise me. That's really dope, though.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. Method Man's been like, early on, this is gonna sound sacrilegious. Like early on, I was like not the biggest Wu-Tang fan, but I was like a fan of Method Man. Like when I was like,
think a lot of people can
10,
say that.
11,
Or you
yeah.
got into Wu-Tang because you
of
like
it.
Method Man.
Yeah,
Same.
exactly.
Yeah, that's me for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For real.
and-
I was a little late to the wave as well, which, sorry, Meth, I fucking love you. I was a little late to the wave. I was very caught up in the Bay Area hip hop movement.
Right.
But once I did find out who Method Man was, then I backtracked into Wu-Tang's catalog.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I had hella Wu wear.
Yeah.
Oh, off top.
You know what I'm saying?
Have you
I
seen
just-
the new shit?
Yeah, I wasn't bumping Capadonna's album, but I had hella Wu wear. You know what I'm saying?
God.
However, it's funny because Meth has always said he hated Wu wear. I'm
Quit hating, man.
like,
The rest of the group is like, we need those sales, fam. And he's like, sorry, I don't wear it.
Shit's
I
weird.
don't like it. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, no problem. I had like lugs.
But I
at
know
the
he
time.
has some. Like, I feel like I joked with him last time where he said something about Wu wear. And I was like, haha, if you want to throw some away, just give it to me.
Right? Yeah.
But, like, I know you hate it, so I'll just take it off your heads. And, yeah, got you.
Nah, yeah, that's crazy, man. Definitely have met folks from like this is a surreal experience, and like you've traveled, like where have you traveled thus far, like in the scope of like taking or like one a more surprising experience. Like there's sometimes when I'm traveling, whether it be on tour and just getting a moment of clarity of like, damn, like music brought me here. Like I probably would have never seen this or had this experience had it not been for music. Whether it's geographically or a certain environment or whatever.
Probably, I would say I did. So I've been doing music since about 2010, 2011, and since then I put out about 5 projects, like a bunch of videos, all the shit. And I would say in the midst of all that was when I put together my own tour. It was me and my cousin who was managing me at the time and like 2 other homies, and we just like was like, fuck it, bro. Like I was getting tired of like, you know, I've done shows at every venue in Seattle, like every major venue. I've done it from Seattle to like Portland. So I'm like, man, I need to like, you know what I'm saying, utilize the space and all these fans and shit I have and just hit the road. Like I was tired of like, not even just tired, but like noticing that like, you know, other artists from my city would like be doing tours and like bring their homies on. And I'm seeing them, like even homies that I have like features with, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, none of these niggas want to take, you know what I'm saying? Like invite me on tour, or, like none of the shit. So I'm like, you know what, fuck them. Like I'm about to just do my own tour. So I literally put a tour together that was from like Seattle. I did Washington, Portland, California, and Texas. And like put it together all myself from like the people, you know, just from contacts that I know, people that I know, and shows that I played before, and just all the shit, and like really put the shit together. And it was Seattle, I think we did Tacoma, or no, I don't think we did Tacoma. Seattle, Olympia, Spokane, Portland, LA, San Diego, Oakland, and then Austin, Texas. And then in Austin, I have, so I used to work at this weed marketing company, and the boss or whatever the fuck he was at the time, he was from Houston, and like we were just talking one day, and this was like when I put out my album Gab the Most High, and I was just chopping it up like, man, I always wanted like an album, like my music to be chopped and screwed. Like I lived in Oklahoma for a couple years, and like it was at the time, I mean, chopped and screwed has always been hella big, but like just me coming from Seattle and living in the South, like hearing chopped and screwed, like I kind of liked it then, but as I got older and like started smoking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's when I was like, yeah, this shit is tight. And like, you know, you always want to find the chopped to the screwed version of a song you already like, because it just makes it better. It's like just a different vibe. Yeah. So, you know, I was just chopping up with him like, man, I always want, you know, Michael Watts to mix my shit. And he was like, oh, I'll hit the nigga right now. Like he hit him up, he sent him my music, he loved it, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, I got you. So I did that, and so the Gab the Most High album has the chopped and screwed version as well from him. And like ever since then, like he's just been hella cool. Like he's mixed a few, or you know, he's chopped and screwed a few other of my songs. He stayed in contact. When I went out there, so when I did the Austin date, he DJ'd for me, which was crazy. I was like, bro, that's some serious shit. He DJ'd for me. You know, I tried to pay him, and he was like, nah, like, it's good. And he don't even live in Austin. Like, he had to travel from Houston to Austin to do it. And then he took me to, what you call it? Fuck, what's the restaurant? No. It's like a seafood. It starts with a P.
Not Papados.
Papados. He took me to Papados. And, like, took me there, and, like, we, you know, told me get whatever I want. Like the food was hella fucking good. He got these fucking alligator bites. That was like the best shit. I had those. They taste like the best chicken nuggets you've ever had, bro. Like it was crazy. And like we just chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? I made Ron C. Like it was just a dream to like again like people that you grew up, you know, listening to and respecting, and then like fucking with you and knowing who you are, and the fact that you know he DJ'd for me for the love, and you know, we stay in contact was just hella dope. So I think just the whole putting together, being like, fuck everybody, I'm about to just do this shit myself. Yeah. And like actually pull the shit off with like very little budget. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally got a job to like fund the tour. You know what I'm saying? And then shortly thereafter got fired because I was not present. Because
I was on tour. I think it's hella important to remember like what our 16-year-old self considered success, because that's my life right now, and I'm pretty sure you could say the same, and I'm pretty sure you could say the same. And so I think it's important to just remember like how much of a dream like this all was to us at one point. You know,
a dream of what people would tell you that you could not make happen. Like you cannot do that for a living. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I was in Seattle, I was having lunch with my dad, and he was just like, he was asking me, because, like, my parents were always, like, good about letting me do whatever I wanted to do, try whatever, you know what I'm saying, from music to sport. Gabby. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you like and you're good at it, like, fuck it, do it, you know what I'm saying? So they were very supportive in that aspect. But, like, I don't think none of them, like, envisioned me being, like, a rapper, you know what I'm saying, or, like, an artist and actually doing that. So, like, my dad's hella proud, but, like, he just kind of be like, what, like, motivates you to do? Like, why are you doing this? And I, you know, had to tell him, like, you my dad, so you know, like, I just be doing my own thing. And that's just kind of how I always want to do shit. Like, I always want to be able to do what I want to do and use the skills that I'm good at to, you know, make a living for myself and, like, not do something that I hate to do. Like, and I've done the 9 to 5, like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, 9 to 5 suck, bro. Like, anytime I've had, like, a job, like, I notice, like, I get, like, I don't even want to say depressed, but, like, I just hate everything. Like, it fucks up my mood. I hate having to go to work. I hate having to deal with people that I want to deal with. You're not even paying me what I'm worth. I'm here doing stupid shit. Like, I just hate it. Like, I just get really, like, down when I have a job. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm like, I could never do this to, like, survive. Like, I just couldn't. Like, I'd rather die than have to, like, go to work and then, like, be disrespected by this motherfucker that gets paid, like, $1. Like, I will slap the shit out of you and go to jail. Like, I don't want to have to live my life that way. So, like, I got to do what I want to do that I'm good at doing, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I found. And, yeah, that's just what really motivates me is I don't ever want to have a fucking job again. Like, not if I have to. Like, if I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do things that I want to do. And with music, you have, like, that control. Like, you know, even down to, like, if someone wants to do a feature, like, there's a show offer, like, I could say no. Like, I could just say no, and it doesn't affect anybody but me. I have that power to say no. I don't care what the money is. I don't care whatever the circumstance it is. I don't want to have to do it, and I don't really have to explain myself to anybody unless it is contractually set up to, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I really, music is really just... You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's a strong female boss-ass move right there. I be taking notes, man, from Gab. Like, I think it's hard as women to say no a lot. Yeah. But Gabby's definitely
or they swindle you and do, you know what I'm saying?
Putting their foot down.
you really have to. Like, it's just, you know, the way I was raised by... I mean, I had a mother and a father, obviously, but, like, you know, I have an older brother, and so, you know, all of his friends would always be over, and, you know, the way my dad kind of did us was, even though my brother is 6 years older than me, we all had to do the same shit, so, like, whatever sports he played, I had to play. Wherever he shot, I had to, you know what I'm saying? There was no difference.
You were your brother now.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
did you ever have group punishment? I used to have that with myself, where you go out in public, it's on you guys to, like, police each other, because if one of you gets out of line, you would just say, that's one. You know, like, oh, we all got a SWAT
we're both
coming.
Getting our ass whipped.
That's two.
One thing happens to one of us.
All of it. It was like it was like communism in terms of, like, discipline. It's like disciplinary communism. You
guys are all 100%.
100%. So, like, just being, you know, raised about, like, just strong, whether it be, like, strong woman or strong man, you know what I'm saying? You just learn, you know, at a young age to, like, not take no shit, you know what I'm saying? And also to, you know, see how shit really is. Like, life is not fair, you know what I'm saying? Life ain't fair. People gonna treat you differently for X, Y, Z, you know what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to navigate it. So, you know, and especially being a woman in a male-dominated industry, there's been too many times where, like, you know, someone has offered me, you know, an amount significantly lower than my male counterpart, who we have the same draw, same pull. Like, there's no difference really between us other than our genders. And you want to pay me less? Like, oh, no, we're going to talk about this because this isn't fair. Here are the receipts to show you that, you know what I'm saying, you're wrong. Here are my numbers. Here's this person's numbers. Why am I getting paid, you know, so much lower? And then, you know, most of the time, they don't really expect you to do that. Like, they expect you to either, like, wild out so they have a reason to be like, oh, well, now I don't have to pay you at all. You know what I'm saying? Or they think they can get over on you, but not like you hit them with that, you know, respectful, you got me fucked up email, you know what I'm saying? They're like, per your previous statement, you know what I'm saying? You know, like,
this is all the coded words.
Exactly.
Of, like, I'm reading you right now, but you can't really call me out on it.
You feel me? To let you know, I see what you did. I don't appreciate it. Here's the proof that I know, you know what I'm saying? I know you're going to have your excuses. Here's the proof. And, you know, either let's change your attitude, or I'm walking. You know what I'm saying? So
boss up or get bossed on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And there's a way you do it, but it's just like you can't you're gonna run into those things, and that shit'll you know, even though you handle it in a way, like it's still like disheartening to be like, damn, like people really sexist or like racist or like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's people really be out here like that. Like that's crazy. But it's like you just gotta, you know, keep on moving and not hope. Not even not hope everybody's like that, but not like go into it with the expectation that that's how it's gonna be. But also, I'm a person that's like, you know, hope for the best but expect the worst.
Right.
I feel like you probably gonna fuck me over. So if you do, I expect it. But if you don't, like that's what's up.
I'll be pleasantly surprised. Yeah, it's definitely we're in a business where you definitely, you know, have to be your own advocate, choose your own worth, and once you accept something or whatever, people think like that's always what it's gonna be. That's your worth. You know, it could be no matter what numbers change, no matter what anything. It's like, well, you opened up for Yellow Wolf 4 years ago for $150. What do you mean?
That was 4 years ago. Like I've grown
was Yellow Wolf.
There's many contributing factors.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, you got to come into it like with like things that you're willing to do and things you're willing to not do or like accept or take. You know what I'm saying? Like once you come in with those, like, you know what I'm saying, those things, like it's easy. It's a little bit easier to navigate because you've already said like, I'm not finna do this for like no reason,
Boundaries.
no money, no anything.
Right.
And they give you that offer. It's like easy to be like, psh, nah, like I don't care how big the check is. Like I've been said I'm never gonna do that.
Said no.
Like, yeah. It's easy.
I've definitely turned down things where like people are like, do you regret that? I'm like, nah, it just didn't work out because they didn't have and like opportunities that are like, you know,
like
where
what?
I've seen
Let's
peers.
get in the juicy details.
I don't want to get
Yeah,
into
NDAs?
TV shows will say where they're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this. I'm like, nah, that isn't enough. You have a budget TV show. That's not even what I get over here doing this. I'm cool on that.
And what I have
know
to
what I mean?
sign off on will never be worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No regrets in
And-
regards to what I've turned down.
Yeah,
like,
and it's like gambling where I'm like, you know, I think I'm driving the hard bar and they'll respect it and come up.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to do it, and then they don't. I'm like, oh, well, that was the gamble
Yeah.
I took. Like, I'm cool. You know?
Yeah, I feel that.
makes it easier.
I kind of would have done it, but
But,
I
yeah.
already drew the
I
line.
was busy anyways. The new episode of The Deuce comes out on Sunday anyway. Speaking of which, have you seen? Beth,
I have not.
Have you seen any of the show The Deuce? It's
I
with
have not.
Have you at all?
But I
It's
look
with
at
James
I send
Franco on
HBO. Method Man pictures of him in it.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
Now I
'cause he's
need
all,
to-
Yeah, I've seen the photos. I know the
drugged
premise.
out.
I have to. I'm
Now I
ready
need
binge
to
it. I
catch
gotta
up.
binge it.
I don't have TV,
Okay.
so I really gotta get on my game if I want to find a TV show,
Right,
and I'm
right.
just not
Yeah.
dark web savvy. I don't know where to find them.
Yeah.
Dark web savvy.
Yeah, well, what kind of
You can
TV
just
we
Google
talking
it,
about?
man. You can just Google it.
Yeah.
Show me.
This is on
Right.
HBO. This on HBO. It's good, but
Yeah, you
yeah,
can find shit.
meth is
Pippin.
low key hilarious on it.
He's
yeah,
He's
like
amazing.
yeah, great on the acting side as well. Obviously,
That's a big aspiration of ours too. It's just
get into acting.
get into.
Acting and like like writing for like shows or like
Yeah.
script type shit. Like
That's what I'm saying.
acting is
I love
cool, but
writing.
like I would rather like create the show rather than be the one who's like acting on it. Like that's
Same.
way more lit to me.
Same.
Especially being in the forefront as a rapper, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I don't really want to be the forefront as an actor. Like even though that could be something I'm good at, like it's just not like my focus or
Yeah.
something that is a strong suit. But then again, I don't know because I've never really acted before. But however, like I get way more. I think I would get way more out of it being able to create rather than
I
placed in
feel the
something.
exact same way. There was actually this battle rap movie coming out called Bodied. It's like the
Word?
Eminem. Yeah, it's dropping
Twist-
November 1st.
Twist wrote on it, right?
Twist like wrote it.
The dude that I
It's
introduced
coming out
you to, I
Thursday. The
dropped the mic.
first is the
Kid
big
Twist.
premiere.
Oh yeah,
or
yeah,
the big
Boy.
premiere.
yeah.
But yeah, he wrote a
That's
movie.
tight.
Eminem's like executive producer. Joseph Kahn directed it. it's fire, but I'm in it. Me and Thesaurus have a scene together where we're like watching a battle, and it's one of those things where we're talking to each other, kind of explaining what's going on, low key, you know. But I was terrified, and it was really tight being on set and all that happening. But like in my mind, as it's happening, I was like, I hate this. I hate this. I think I suck. I sucked. Huh? That was terrible. Yeah, that was terrible.
You know how many times I fixed my hair since we sat down at this table? Like once a camera goes on, I'm just like,
right. What to do with my hair? Yeah, I was saying to you earlier, I was totally me after like drinking. I was fine, and then hitting the joint a couple times on watch, and I was like, I'm watching a battle. They're watching me watch a battle. I'm like, this sucks. Yeah. Do I look natural? Like, it sucks.
Glitching
but
out.
yeah, I for the longest, I'm like, I'm gonna get our scene cut. I'm gonna get our scene cut. I know I was terrible. We only did like 3 takes. I was because then I was like, I'm like, how was my tone? How was, and I was talking to one of the actors on set, like, what do you think of this? He's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, it doesn't sound right to me. It doesn't sound natural. What do I look at? I think I looked at the camera.
You got to scrub it now. I looked at the camera. It's over.
Yeah. And so.
Sabotaging yourself just so you don't have to deal with it.
Suck. And so I honestly am with you in the boat of like, I would rather write and be a writer behind the scenes, because that is that's a whole nother skill to learn.
Yeah, whole nother, like, or like, that's just like a specific art form. That's even like DJ, and like I would love to be a DJ, and like I could do a little bit, but like I respect the craft so much that like I would never consider myself a DJ, or even like try to pretend or like half-ass some shit that like I know personally people have like dedicated their whole lives to, just like I've dedicated, my whole life to what I do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
like I couldn't even fake the front.
That's like the worst, when like a sort of groupie motherfucker is like trying to approach you after the show or some shit, right? And they're like, "I rap," and you're, let's keep genders out of it. Whether it's a Dave Chappelle, whether it's a guy or a girl.
The conversational face push, like doing it with your words.
Yeah, not even. It's not even the fan shit. It's not even the fan shit. It's legitimately just someone who like is trying to get at you, who rapped once and would like to connect to you
by
telling you that I once rapped about a thing, and you're just like, I'm offended. Yeah. Deeply offended.
I'm questioning whether I want to anymore now because you did.
Yeah.
That's when you hit them. ASCAP or BMI. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Catch you next time.
All right, then.
You give him the 6-digit number.
Yeah, right. What's your number?
I'll put it in your
7. Holler. Shoot me a text. I'll lock you in.
Under 7.
I actually, and we haven't done this, so I'm excited. You sent an unreleased song, and I actually want to bump that.
BMI or ASCAP?
Both.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So I wanted to.
I would love
to bump that, and so this you got to set this up for us. Okay, this is off the give
little
us
airplane headphones.
Right, give us the breakdown.
Right. What we should have done, I should have thought of this sooner. We should have played 2 songs and see what people want us to drop first.
The single and had a live poll.
Yeah, we should have had the headphones in the whole time.
Oh right. Is it? It's like the audio version of 2 mirrors pointed at each other.
You're hella good with your metaphors.
That's all I got. So this joint. What's the background on this? It's off the upcoming album, obviously.
Yes, this is off the B.A.G album. We always want to give people a lesson in securing the bag. And this song.
Don't call it that.
This song.
Call it securing the B.A.G. I love
you. Got you. We just wanted to sprinkle some game.
You ain't shit.
You could take the directives in whichever way you want on the hook, but we just wanted to sprinkle some game, some GAME on getting the B.A.G.
Oh my God, it's just a lit song. I don't have anything deeper introspective about it.
It's
Let's go. Let's hear it.
This is no samples.
Is the audio really loud? This little.
It's pretty loud.
No.
It's a little loud.
This one's
It'd
me.
be cool.
This.
I just hear the volume change.
Like that's actually Gab. This is yours
Yeah,
right
you
here.
turned me all the way
Ooh,
off.
there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
And then this is yours, Greg.
Yeah, no samples produced by Patrick Brown.
Yes.
Wow.
And there's a couple other producers on it. Let me find out so I'm not being a dick.
And while we're bumping it, obviously feedback's welcome. But if you have any questions for after, you got a few questions, we can get to that
I got
after
3.
on the way out. You feel me? All right, is it playing? Am I just not getting it?
Not waiting for.
Okay.
I'll tell
We'll
him
shout
after,
him
I
out.
guess.
Yeah, we'll amend it.
I'll tell him after, I guess.
Exclusive.
Hold up, let me suit up. Hoopers better get they loot up. New turn niggas on that court. I play to win. This is my sport. It's no debate. Do not distort. You wanna quit? Then yell abort. Fuck who you call.
Got quiet.
Oh, it did? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start over.
Run it back.
Hey.
It's still quiet. Or wait, is it good for you?
It's pretty quiet.
Got quieter all of a sudden.
It's alright, guys. We're
Oh,
taking
still quiet.
difficulties.
What changed? Hello?
What changed?
Is anybody there? Shout out Avocado holding it down. Literally.
Literally
volume.
holding down the
Holding-
volume.
So wait, is this how low it's gonna be playing on the video?
I don't know.
They've heard
it's
the
just kind
horns
of
in the
all
beginning
foreign
every
to me. I don't really know.
They're like,
what's
nope,
good.
dump
It's a
it.
bunch of computer stuff
Tell a joke or something, Greg.
going on.
Put some time.
The
Tell a
song
joke.
set.
All right. So, you know, they always say patience is a virtue, right? What about the other virtues? You never hear about them. You ever picture just patience walking into a meeting of the virtues? 15 minutes late on his cell phone, kicking his sand. He's wearing like flip-flops, kicks him up on the... No, I can talk. No, it's all right. I'm not busy.
That was great.
Patience is like, I'm running out of me.
Oh my god.
Love is like, can't we all just get along?
Is that a Seinfeld joke?
No, this is me making
No.
fun of my own joke.
Oh, got you. Like, this sounds very Seinfeld.
Right?
I like
Yeah,
it.
that's why I started it in that. Because if I am joking about making a joke, then it's okay if it bombs.
There you
so
go.
it's kind of like,
I like your
halfway
logic.
putting my joke out there. You know?
That was really good.
I'm working
The
on
dot on the text has been going
it. On me?
on I'm getting the producer's names.
Hey.
Hold up, let me suit up. Hoopers better get they loot up. New turn niggas on that court. I play to win. This is my sport. It's no debate. Do not distort. You wanna quit? Then yell abort. Fuck who you call. Fuck call the Lord. Hit it up once, then I default. Look. You hear that mighty roar? What you lying for? You like Tommy Ford. You ain't never had a job before. Yeah, I'm mighty sure. I put the game on life support. Boy, watch me work. Look, you don't see these handles? Limbs on swim just like sea mammals. I don't know him. I don't need no scandals. That's on wax. I don't blow out candles.
Coordinated the cadence, which caffeinated the greatest. Waking up all your favorite rappers. Masterful with the phrasing, which orchestrated the haters to suck it or sit down. If you funky, we get hella James Brown with the get down. I hang with a dang conglomerate. My word is bond, better run a red. They astonished with all my weight. How they can't see me weekly. Gotta see they have time to triz. This beat is real loud, so it's in my wheelhouse. That's bike shop. I put my own shit on suicide watch.
Don't fuck up the bag. No samples, no samples.
Don't fumble the rags. No handles, no handles.
Don't fuck up the bag. No samples, no samples.
Don't fumble the rags. No handles, no handles.
Look, ain't no dipping in the bag. Ain't no samples around here, baby. Yeah, you gotta bring me the whole thing. The whole thing. Ain't no half, not a piece of it. You know what I'm saying? I need the whole thing.
Man, I can hit threes from the bleachers. I can flip keys like a leasher. Y'all behind the keys on Twitter, like, what you charge for the feature? I can take charge like a leader. A cash by the stacks if it's fat, but you whack, so I don't really want to take either.
We don't know what else to see the. I'ma kick back like this FIFA. Give me Cheech and Chong, got blunts on me along. Keep 2 peas, we in a pot. What you tripping on? We can scrap like we in a shop, motherfucker. I'm the gifted guy.
We ping and pong, your whole rhythm's flawed, and we back in alignment. Get the bag, no consignment. You need to step back with the ad on the chime in before you get blocked like a lineman. You a pound night Hyman, broken, I'm hot like the climate.
We like slow cooker to these onlookers. You know all good things take time in. Finna heat it up, might beef it up. They need a cut of this rhyme in. Don't count me out when I'm in the bout. You know pressure make them diamonds. Don't fuck up the bag. No samples, no samples.
Don't fumble the rags. No handles, no handles.
Don't fuck up the bag. No samples, no samples.
Don't fumble the rags. No handles, no handles.
Slapper. Slapper.
Add that to these hands.
It's like
the
it's
baptism.
definitely the
That
double
shit's
meanings
funny.
too. Like, don't fuck up the bag, no samples. Like, as far as the beat and like clearances or whatever, you know,
Exactly.
and then dipping in the bag for samples.
See?
Yeah.
And
Got
then don't fuck up the racks, you know. Don't fuck up the balls on the rack out top. And
No handles.
don't fuck up the money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a lot of,
It's fire.
yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that's a slap.
Appreciate it.
Definitely.
I think this album is gonna be received. I think people are gonna be surprised by this album. That's us rapping.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of
That's us, not someone else.
That's
It was
us
us.
rapping.
That was me.
There's a whole lot of singing on the album. There's a whole lot
Nice.
of singing on the album.
That's really dope.
And yeah.
Do you have a due date? Did I miss it?
First quarter next year.
Yeah, for the album.
Yeah.
It's coming along, baby.
I realized after I said, I'm like, why did that sound weird?
It just kicked.
Oh, that means he's coming soon. Oh wait, do I really do these episodes now?
No,
Okay,
I guess
we're
not. No.
done.
Yeah, that
Thanks
was
for
that,
letting us
that was
play our
fire.
new shit.
Of course, definitely. Thanks for playing it.
That I finally got the producers' names on that, and because for all intents and purposes, I didn't want to name just their regular old average
Like
Joe
John
names.
and
Exactly
Trevor.
right. That's
And Joshua.
producer duo Sky Mall, SKYYMALL, and Studio Dad.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Studio.
Studio
He's
Dad.
definitely a studio dad.
That's
Yeah,
fire.
Big studio.
Yeah, y'all are
Big dad.
gassing on that. You
thanks,
do a
man.
lot of bouncing around on that off each other, of course, on the album.
On the album?
That's like
We do.
Is that the
But we
bread
also
and
do
butter?
16s too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it's fire.
We do all the, yeah, we've done almost all the increments, almost. Just say yesterday we were in the studio and we were saying, she was like, should we do 8? Sounds like, nah, we should do 16s. And then she was like, have we done all of them? She was like,
Have we done all of them?
She was like, have we done
Fours?
2s? I was like, nah, bro.
We haven't done two.
You got to
Don't
do
think
like
we'll do 2s.
15-1. like the
Right,
15
really
bar
switch it
versus
up.
the 1. And
I
then
mean, we
on
can
the-
do whatever, man. We
Yeah.
can make it all work.
Yeah, it's
Any
not.
numeric, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can
Whatever
come up
mathematical equation you want
Three
to
and a
throw at
half?
us, we got
with. Do
it.
3.5,
That's
man.
fine. What were the questions you had for
Alright.
Down,
the chat is
Oh, we
live,
got some-
so they
some
had a
live
couple
chatters?
questions.
Will there
Uh-oh.
be
Some
B.A.G.
chatterbaiters.
vinyl?
There will definitely be B.A.G.
Hell
vinyl.
yeah,
Hell,
bitch.
yes. We are about as new classic as you can get.
Cassettes too, hopefully. I would like to get cassettes.
Yeah.
I got a couple boys. Do cassettes.
She's like,
I will have my run of cassettes. So
Vinyl for sure, cassettes, maybe.
you're a hater, bro.
That's tight. That's how tight.
Alright, next question. I know nothing about this. I'm just gonna preface that. Can you ask Gab about the Wendy's mixtape?
That's funny.
That's hella funny, actually. Damn. So when Wendy's, you're familiar.
Yeah, the Twitter account.
Yeah, when I guess like they dropped a mixtape.
the fast food
What?
restaurant.
Yeah, they dropped like a whole
mixtape.
mixtape, which apparently was pretty fire. I didn't really look too much into it, aside from the fact that people just assumed I was Wendy or the one that was rapping.
The MC.
Really?
Yeah,
There's
because
a
it's a girl who's rapping on all the tracks, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's Gift to Get," and then like some blog like posted
Might-
it was
might
like
have been Reddit.
is or
The
something.
fake news?
It might have been Reddit because it was like they were like, "Is Wendy's
Seattle's
rapper?"
Gift to Gab.
Yeah, Seattle's Gift to Gab. I think it was Reddit because there was like a lot of traffic on that topic, and
Damn.
everybody was like either like, "Yeah, definitely," or other people were like, "You're tripping. That don't even sound like her." And then I heard it, and I'm like, "Yeah, they're tripping. This doesn't sound anything like me." But it was random as fuck.
Damn, that is
It got
hella
the.
random.
It was trending.
Yeah,
Let's
trending
go.
topic.
it was.
You
Yeah,
might
it
have
was
should have
random.
just ran with that.
I mean, I kind of did. I was like, all right, so if that's the case, like, Wendy's, what's up? We should
Yeah,
team
right?
up,
Yeah.
fuck these niggas, Burger King, McDonald's, whatever
This-
competition, like, let's just go at them. Like, I got the bars for it.
that would be fire.
Yeah.
We gotta get
Battle.
behind that.
Fast food battles.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be real tight. That's hilarious.
Maybe if it was
People
chicken
just
and
make stuff up. And it's funny because especially this like the age of social media journalism is like kind of dead in the way of like people won't fact check. They just gotta post the shit first.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it? And they probably posted as a question, whatever blog. Kind of like, is Wendy?
Yeah, literally like is Wendy. Like the first word was
Seattle's
is.
gift. Right.
Yeah, and everybody was like, it is. Like
you're
it
a
is
blog.
not.
You tell us.
Yeah,
Do
it
the
was,
research.
It was not me. However, I kind of wish it was, or I had some hand in it.
Right.
That would be some tight
Secure
little
the
royalties.
bag.
Yeah. But, you know, maybe next time.
And then the last question is, what women influenced you in hip hop?
Missy Elliott, and Missy Elliott. I'm just playing. For me, the earliest influence in hip hop I have is TLC, 100%. Waterfalls I knew front to back when I was 6 years old. I was obsessed with that song. And then yeah, Missy Elliott. And if I can name one outside of hip hop, this is my dream collabo right here. Sorry, I'm being selfish. I want to just talk about her, but Tracy Chapman. I want Tracy Chapman on the feature.
That'd be crazy.
That's gonna be my like Kanye move when I get super on and just bust out the unexpected feature. Well, I guess you guys know about it now, but yeah,
It's still pretty unexpected, bro.
TLC and Missy Elliott are the top for me.
Shoo, for me, it would have to be Queen Latifah for sure. Missy, I'm also a huge TLC fan, but specifically Left Eye. Who else? MC Light, Bahamadia,
Brat.
the Brat
I
for
love
sure.
The Brat so much.
The
when
Brat
I was
Eve,
younger. Her whole
which
swag.
is like one of the most underrated lyricists. Like
I
it is
agree.
almost
Eve is
disrespectful
stupid
how they
nice.
don't give Eve her
Yeah.
credit. Like she was spitting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big
Fucking
facts.
Hurricane G. I've always been a big fan of the 5 Footers. They were hella dope. It was Warren's female group back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Raw Digger for sure.
Raw Digger.
Oh, yeah.
Gangsta Boost, tight as shit.
Yeah.
I only got to know her shit
Mia
older.
X.
But
There's hella. Like I can name
I remember Mia
female.
X.
I could just name
Yeah.
rappers all
Right,
day,
all
let
day.
alone
Yeah,
female or male. But like, yeah, female specifically. Me, you know, being a black girl and seeing another, you know, black woman do her thing is obviously, you know, inspiring. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really put it. It always be hard for me to answer that question because then I feel like I'm like putting them in this box because it's like I listen to them in the midst of, you know, all the music I listen to, but yeah, for sure they definitely inspired me. And yeah,
That's
women be
really
hard.
dope, yeah.
And also women have always been around, like in every aspect of like music, hip hop or anything, like female anything has never been a new thing, you know what I'm saying? Like even in the beginning when hip hop was first created, there was a girl there. There was plenty of women there, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So yeah, we've always been there.
Yeah.
Shit.
You just gotta
Very
you just gotta give
viable.
us the
We was
respect
probably the
we
ones
deserve.
keeping the shit together. If we wasn't around, the shit would probably fall apart. I can speak to experience on shit like that. Like,
Right.
yeah, you need a woman. You need a
Definitely.
woman around to keep shit together.
I think you guys are, you know, a lot of people are gonna have you guys in the same conversation, male or female, as far as just inspiration with what you guys are doing. It's
Thank
tight
you,
to
man.
see.
I
Yeah,
hope
it's
so.
real dope. The music sounds really dope. I appreciate you guys
Thanks, L.
coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
We got real candid.
Yeah.
Candid camera.
Oh, that's how. Yeah, this is just. I forget that thing's on. No one watches.
Yeah,
no
no,
one
you
listens.
did.
So it's all just.
You were subtly
this is-
looking.
But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Appreciate you,
Where
man.
do they find you? Let them know.
We'd appreciate if you show our new joint pages some love. So you can find us at Blimes and Gab everywhere. That's our joint page. Go show that some love.
Also, I post sexy content on my I also
BLIMES
on my
and
individual
Gab.
page.
And then on our individual pages for sure. Blimes Brixton, BLIMES is how you spell Blimes. I know it's a weird word. Blimes Brixton and
Gifted_Gab.
yeah.
Let's go. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Meanwhile on Earth.
Shout out to Avocado.
Down low, take my name in vain when you say it, it's a mouthful. Burning sage, let it permeate. It feels like we're a world away, distant. Forgive me for my worldly ways, face judgment when I learned to fake interest. Burning frankincense at the pearly gates entrance, yeah.